Well, Kimberly, thank you so much for inviting us in today.
Oh, you're welcome to Norwich Castle Museum.
Yeah, it's lovely. This centre area, by the way, what is this, a cafe? 'Cause it's lovely and light, lots of windows going around. I can just see the tops of the castle as well. So
yes, so you can get a sort of perspective of where you are. So we've got the castle keep there, and the cafe area, general relaxing. Of course, we've got the peregrines,
yes.
Live feed from the cathedral as well. We're really lucky here. We've got so much stuff to look at.
Well, should we start and have a look around some of the highlights?
Absolutely.
Which way do we go?
We're going to go this way.
Rightio. So the Natural History Gallery.
Yes, this is our permanent exhibition, so it's always here for people to come and look at. It's one of our oldest collections actually. When the museum opened at the end of the Victorian period, most of the collection was natural history.
Now, there's a lot in here. There's a lot of big things in here as well, which we'll chat on in just a second about. But also, there are pieces in here you want to highlight that are actually really quite small, but really important.
Yes, absolutely. And for example, the Haysborough hand axe, which you can just see here.
Oh, yeah.
Quite small and unassuming, but incredibly significant. This hand axe is 700,000 years old.
Wow, okay.
Yes, so found in Haysborough. And why it's so significant is that previously we had believed that humans had first arrived in Britain around 500,000 years ago. So this actually pushes that back 200,000 years.
You can hear all sorts of
yes.
roars and things going on.
The tiger going on at the moment.
What else is in here? What else do you really catch your eye in here?
One of our most iconic specimens is the polar bear. So if you look back at our marketing and advertising over the years, the polar bear will feature somewhere. When we have grandparents coming with their grandchildren, they remember the polar bear. So it's been here since, again, the end of the Victorian period. Slight sad story though, it was one of 57 shot on a hunting expedition in the 1890s. So one of the things this display does is kind of show the changing attitudes to wildlife and conservation over the years, and that's quite important.
You've shown us lots of bits that have huge Norfolk connections, but the Egyptian isn't such an obvious one.
No, and a lot of people want to know why in the middle of Norwich have we got ancient Egyptian pieces on display. Well, it's because in the 19th and 20th centuries, wealthy families often went on tours, and it was very easy to get hold of pieces of antiquity and to bring them home. And that's what's happened here. A lot of the pieces on display were donated, particularly by families like the Coleman family of Coleman Mustard. So they were huge collectors of art and antiquities, and they actually donated this mummy here.
Yeah, this is incredible. This is the real deal.
This is a real mummy, around 3,000 years old. Sadly, we don't know who she was. We know she was a female, but she's actually in the wrong coffin. So this coffin was actually made for a man.
Okay.
And without the coffin, we have no idea of what her name is, who she was, what life she led. So this is quite sad, and this is because of a practice of mummy unwrapping, that you would have public displays and people gather around and they watch as the bandages are taken off the mummy.
Kimberly, we couldn't come to the castle without coming into the keep. It's an astonishing workplace.
Fantastic, isn't it?
Yeah, and I know there's lots of work coming on here we'll get to in just a second, but I wanted to pick your brain with what's coming up over the next few months or even years as far as visiting exhibitions go.
So we've got some really exciting exhibitions coming up. So in the summer of this year, we've got an exhibition on Nelson, of course, fine local hero. And then in the autumn, we're going to have a huge exhibition on the artist Rembrandt, which we're expecting to really grab the public's imagination. We think that's going to be an incredibly popular exhibition with art lovers and non-art lovers alike.
Oh, goodness me.
Yes, and then of course we've got the Paston Treasure as well. So we've got some very exciting exhibitions coming up.
So many reasons to come visit the castle, I think, and also we're so lucky to have this right on our doorstep as well. And it sounds like what you're planning to do, not just the visiting exhibitions, but also the regeneration of this area as well. It's going to become one of the, if not one of, or the finest castles we've got in the whole of the country. So we're very lucky to have it. And thank you so much for showing us around.
My pleasure. Thank you.